Jep2, way ahead, and she's still not giving up at all. She's really putting the pedal down. Well, it's interesting. I didn't expect Defar to be this far ahead of Dibaba, who's defending champion, of course, because on their half marathon times, they've only done one each, as far as I'm concerned, and they're only 10 seconds apart. But this is something else from Jep2.
But Stuart, she's worked so hard over the last 10 or 15 minutes. That gap is what, about 80 metres, something like that. They've got about a mile and a half to go when they go down the very steep downhill very shortly and then turn left onto that last stretch of just over a mile on the seafront. I think Defar might have her in her sights. If Defar's got anything left, she's certainly got the speed, much greater speed than Jep2, who we know is tremendously strong. But Jep2 looks quite stressed to me. She's working very hard here. She has been, to try and break Defar, the best of the two Ethiopians. Now they negotiate this little roundabout, and then it's the steep downhill.
All of a sudden, Mo Farah's discarded the hat, and look at this, Bekele is back with them, and that, the point we were making earlier with that 4:21 mile, he may well have been the most sensible of the three. We'll soon see.
Yeah, I'd have thought if any of them might pay the penalty for an over-enthusiastic surge, it would be Haile, who isn't quite the force he used to be. 4:28 for the 8th mile. Look at those splits, Stuart. 4:29, 4:21, and 4:28. That is incredible. So quick. I mean, they've just run a 2 miles of 8:49. That's a very solid time for a 2-mile race on its own. It represents, what, about 8:20, 8:19 for 3,000 metres in the middle of a half marathon. It's not hanging about.
Well, that looks like Jep2 and Defar, but there's the gap between them in that long straightway along the coast, and Jep2 is certainly tiring, that's for sure, but she's so far ahead at the moment with 63.10. This is a very quick run indeed by the London Marathon winner. So experienced, and she stuck with the two Ethiopians and then put the pedal down. It was subtle. Just less than 800 meters to go, and look at that, 63.5. This is very quick. Now, who is going to try and take this on? Now, I mean, Haile Gebrselassie will know about Mo, and he will try and put a last couple of miles in of some quality, but Mo is an unknown quantity over this distance, of course, and so is Bekele. So really, it's such an enthralling race. It really is.
I think Jep2 here, inside the last 400 metres, could be very close to Paula Radcliffe's fastest time ever for a half marathon.
Yeah, she's got to get within 60 seconds on this last part of the race, this last 400 metres as she comes down towards the finish now. Watch the clock, 65.40 to beat, the fastest ever half marathon in the history of the event. And my goodness me, she deserves it too. Big improver at the beginning of the year. She had run inside 70 minutes before she got into this year, if my memory serves me correctly. And of course, 70.26 was her best until this year. Just less than 200 to go. And watch the clock, it's going to be very close indeed. 65.20 coming down. And now then, is she going to get close to it? She's really having to work very hard. It's going to be very close. Got to get within 10 seconds to this. 32, 33, 34. Watch the clock. 35. She's going to be outside, I think. She's just going to miss it, I think, by a second or two. Yes, she has. 65.44. Wow. That is a terrific run. 65.44 is just an astonishing piece of running, isn't it? It is indeed. And that is equal to the second fastest time ever. And here comes Meseret Defar. Look at the time that she's put together. Personal best by a long way at 66.08. She's limping. She's obviously hurt. Now that's interesting, isn't it? I wonder whether that had something to do. Now whether she's stumbled over the mat, I don't know, but she looked as though she was hurt as she came across the line. And Tilesh Dibaba still to come. Here she comes, the defending champion on her debut last year, still running a very quick race indeed. And trained hard for this, will be disappointed in a way.
Well, she will be frustrated that she's been beaten yet again by her great Ethiopian rival here, Turunesh Dibaba. But nonetheless, this has been a fabulous run. Look at the time, well inside 67 minutes, 66.54 unofficially. This will be the quickest half marathon in history, in depth, by a massive margin, Stuart. 65.44 for Priska Jeptu, 66.08 unofficially, but they're far, 66.54 for Dibaba. Well, place your bets. 54 minutes on the clock, probably about 6 minutes of running to go. They're heading towards the coast now, and the down slope where they drop down onto the coast road and head towards South Shields itself is only a few meters away. But Gebre Selassie still pushing on hard, slide up slope here. Mo Farah coasting in second. Bekele has been very quiet, hasn't he? It's a long time since he's chosen to go to the front.
He could be a danger in this race, he really could, because he still looks full of running to me, and he just dropped his arm there a little bit. He's getting into relaxed mode. He wants to be in a position where he can attack. What an enthralling finish we're going to have here. Somebody's going to make a move shortly. Somebody's going to. I know they are, because they won't leave it to the last 100 meters or so. The pace now, a little look across from Haile there, as they're dropping down that downhill part, and then they'll turn in to the coast road and towards the finish. And look at this, Bekele now coming into second place, and Mo easing down in third place. Look at Bekele go now. This is the point at which it's going to have a go. And has Mo got the finish? He might have, but this is Kenenisa Bekele, who's, as we've said several times, has really trained for this race. Now, has he got enough? Has he gone too early? All of those questions. Has Mo Farah got the sprint finish as we come down at 12 miles gone?
55.30 there at 12 miles, and Kenenisa Bekele might have been fooling them all the time. He's been tucked in behind them for the last half hour, and Bekele leading now from Farah, who looks like he struggled a little bit in that downslope. He didn't look comfortable on that downslope. One of the great ironies of this situation with Haile Gebre Selassie having been leading for the last few miles is that Mo Farah says he was a schoolboy when he watched that great race in Sydney at the Olympic Games when Gebre Selassie won the Olympic Games gold medal against Paul Turgat. That was the inspiration to Mo Farah to get to this level, to train so hard over the years. But now Kenenisa Bekele might just be about to impose one of the great upsets of the sporting year here, beating Mo Farah over a half marathon. The Briton Stuart is what, about 6 or 7 meters down, and Bekele, I know that from this sort of situation, you get your nose in front and the adrenaline starts surging, you feel good, you think, I've got these guys, I can break them, and psychologically you get a great boost from these little glances around. You can see the damage you're doing.
Look at his face, it looks comfortable, his shoulders relaxed. 4:37 last mile, look at him go, another little glance. And Mo looks to be tiring just a little, but there's still a little way to go yet, and he's really working so hard. But Bekele looks so comfortable, doesn't he? He looks so easy at the moment. Haile Gebre Selassie's beaten, but has Mo got enough to chase him down? Perhaps not. Bekele looks very good to me. About 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to go in this race. Still time. Has Bekele gone too early? Probably not.
Well, the 12th mile was 4:37. Goodness knows what this 13th mile will be. We won't get it probably because they've only got about 100 metres to go after the 13-mile marker. But Bekele, there's been talk of him having a foot injury, 20 kilometres there in what, about 57.20. And there's been talk of Bekele having a foot injury, but we knew he was an unknown quantity beyond 15 kilometres. He's never run further than 15 kilometres. Now we know what his mettle really is, and it's pretty impressive. That gap is growing.
Yeah, and he smiled. I saw a smile there. He looks very comfortable, doesn't he? He's got this. He's got this. There's no question about that. Mo's not going to catch him today. He looks full of running as he closes in the last 1,000. It must be about 800 metres to go to the finish now. And certainly he looks, he's glancing and glancing because he knows that Mo's got the pedal, he's got the power, he's got the speed, and Mo's really working so hard to try and get back. But there's a relaxed look in this on the face of this great Ethiopian, world 5,000 and 10,000 metre record holder. What an athlete he's proved to be. He was the man who stayed at the back of the group, let the other two lead all the way, and attacked when it mattered.
Well, it's a debut for Kenenisa Bekele. Is it going to be a winning debut? Mo Farah 10 or 15 metres down, grimacing. You can see the white teeth of the Olympic champion, the world champion at 10,000 metres. But that gap is big now. That's 20, 25 metres, and that's a clear indication of exactly what the challenge is for Mo Farah, with only about a minute of hard running to go. Surely he can't get back to Kenenisa Bekele, who is saying here, Stuart, in the most emphatic manner, that I am far from finished. I can race on the roads, and I can race very well on the roads. And for some, this might throw a question mark as to the ability of Mo Farah to withstand the challenge of the full marathon come London next April. Gebre Selassie has said, don't go for it. 400 metres to run. Gebre Selassie has said to Mo Farah, concentrate on the track, postpone your marathon career, and this might be another reason to do just that.
He is catching him, Tim. He's diminishing that advantage, but I think it's going to be too much. It's surely too much. It's a great effort, and he's still having a go. Look at this, he's closing down very, very quickly indeed, and Mo has got it down to 10 metres.
Gebre Selassie is bent, he's in third place. This is the battle. Kenenisa Bekele and Mo Farah with 200 to run. Surely he can't get there now. Bekele has fabulous speed as well. Mo Farah might have left this too late. 100 metres to run, and Mo Farah is busting a gut to get there. Time and again he's won big races on the track with this great sprint speed of his, but can he get past Kenenisa Bekele at the finish line? It's going to be inches in it at the line. Bekele's holding on, the smile is there, he's got it by 2 metres surely, and look at the clock just outside the hour, and Mo Farah there raising his game just a few seconds too late, still smiling, the London man as always. But Kenenisa Bekele is back, there's no doubting it now, and the man has got a future on the roads, a much bigger one than we suspected. A hug immediately there from his manager Jos Hermans. Mo Farah congratulated by Hermans as well, but that will come down as one of the great half marathon races in history, as in third place Haile Gebre Selassie crossed the line in 60 minutes 40 unofficially. Still fabulous running from the Emperor to take third place in the Great North Run.
Bekele, Farah and Gebre Selassie, look at that, just outside the hour, but what a fantastic race at 1 second between Bekele and Farah. Wonderful, wonderful half marathon.
Before World Championship, I was concentrating to train hard, and I'm feeling confident, and my injury was it's better and better, and in the end, I did it.
It was a great race, it was a great finish. I thought when Kenenisa went with a mile to go, I thought the pace was just ridiculous, so I thought, I can come back and close the gap slowly. I managed to close a little bit, but you can't take away what he has. He has a great speed, and it came down to the last 200 metres and, right to the line. But it was a great race.
Well, it was a wonderful performance by Priska Jeptu of Kenya over Meseret Defan and Tiranish Dibaba, two Ethiopians beaten by the Kenyan on this occasion.
Today I'm very happy because it is an amazing day for me. It is surprising because I didn't know that I will run in such an amazing time.
And let's just look at the wheelchair. David Weir, Josh Cassidy and Rafa Otella Jimenez, Shelley Woods, Jade Jones and Liz McTurnan of Great Britain in the wheelchair.
It was tough. Some parts were quite tough with the wind, but there was a lot of bits that helped you a lot, and I was thankful that the rain held off, because the roads were quite greasy, so we had to take it a bit careful on the first downhill, and make sure the tyres were ready for the greasy roads.
So David Weir joined the other big names today in performing at levels seldom seen. What terrific races they were. That's it from Tyneside for another year. The next event in the Great Run calendar is the Great Scottish Run at the beginning of October. Well, don't forget, therefore, in the meantime, to keep up to date on your website, greatrun.org. But for now, from the northeast of England, it's goodbye.